Let's see what came in the mail today. Oh, I get the special box this time because I got too much crap. So let's see, 238D. Bam! Oh, packages everywhere. All right. Well, let's take these home. Alrighty, so I did actually take these out of the package, and I totally forgot to continue the video. I also got this SE in between the time, so I'm gonna go ahead and include it in here. So I got an iPhone 6, and this one is a 64 gig, and it is in gold. It does not turn on with its battery, but I did have another 6 battery that was kind of, it was the battery that had 51% on it, so not the best one to try it with, but it did work, and it did turn on, and the home button does work, so thank God for that. So I ordered a battery and a screen for this, and this one I probably will keep for myself. It does have a little dent in there, you know, a couple scrapes here and there. Not the greatest condition, but, you know, not bad for, I think it was about $25 that I spent on this, so not terrible for that. Now, the SE is a little bit of an interesting story here. So the SE has a working battery, working display, a non-working home button, and the home button is actually stripped. So it will never have Touch ID again, which is very unfortunate. I could not get the screen back in, but I did go into this one because this one is bent. But I went in because I wanted to see if the Touch ID home button was ripped, and of course it was, so rip that. Anyway, you can see how bent this is. I mean, it is terrible. So it's got this huge bend right here, and then it's very bent right there. But everything else seems to work on it. I could not get the, in order to use this, I would have to have the assistive touch to use the home button. So I don't have that right now, but you can kind of see it. The touch works and everything on here. And that's about as much as I can really test on this. It also is missing the little shields for each of the... Oh wow, a piece of glass just fell out. Oh man. Yeah, this thing is just ready to go. It's ready to come off. But anyway, the heat shields for covering the battery connector and for covering the display connector were just not there. It's also missing its pentalobe screws. So what I ended up doing for this one is I did order another phone. I just ordered an activation locked phone. So this is going to go from rose gold to silver because that was the cheapest one I could find. And hopefully that home button is good, or I'll have to order another one. It still will not have Touch ID, but at least it will have a newer-ish body. And I wasn't able to test this battery. I don't think it was good though. I think it was a bad battery too. So we'll get to do a full restoration on this bad boy, and this will hopefully be one that I can sell. Over here is a first generation iPod, and this bad boy has 16 gigs. Not in the best condition, but not really bad either. When I plugged it in, it showed the low battery icon, but it will not boot. It doesn't get enough juice to boot, and I can't boot it at all. So I'm thinking it just needs a battery. Now I need to learn how to solder if I'm going to do the battery swap on that. This one is a iPod Touch 3rd generation in pretty good condition. It's also 32 gigs. And look at this. It works. So when I got it, it was disabled for whatever reason. But I just restored it back to factory. It's running, let's see, what's it running? It is running iOS 5.1.1, which I believe is probably the last for this one. But it runs great, and I actually had one of these a long time ago, and I had an iPhone 4, and I had one of these. So I had one for music, and then I had my, phone with the 16 gigs of storage or whatever it came with, because I was too cheap to get one with more storage. Anyway, it seems to run just fine, and the battery doesn't really, it seems to be really good, so I'm happy with this one. The next one is a 4th gen iPod, and it looks like it's in decent condition on the front here. No real scratches or craziness. This one is I believe it's an 8 gig. Yeah, so it's an 8 gig here. Kind of bad shape on the back. But the problem with this one, and you're not going to be able to see it, I guarantee you won't be able to see it, but if you can, the port is completely just messed up. Like, I plugged a cord into it, and I was like, man, this isn't working, this sucks. And then I look in here and I see all these frayed pieces and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that needs to be replaced. So this bad boy needs a new dock connector, and I have no idea if the battery's good. So either way, I have to solder. So I need someone to show me how to solder at some point so I can fix these. But I thought that was kind of cool. So now I have a 1st gen, I have a 2nd gen, I have a 3rd gen, and a 4th gen iPod Touch. So that is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, and the other one I got here is an iPod 3rd generation, I believe. It is a 20 gigabyte, and it only runs on the charger, which is unfortunate. But check this out. It's got a bunch of music on it too. Got just a boatload of music on this. So it's really, really cool. It'll keep its battery for about like 5 minutes, and then that's it. But man, this fat little thing is just so cool. I miss these old iPods. Yeah, so it also, don't know if you guys remember, but the iPod used to come with some games. So you've got Brick, Music Quiz, and I think that uses your music. Yeah, I think it goes through, yeah. So it'll go through your music, and you pick out which one it was. So I thought that was kind of cool. But you have to be, you have to have headphones in. But Brick, I'm sure you all remember that one. Okay, let's see. Can Ian do it? Oh, all right. So you get the idea with that. And Parachute, I can't remember what that is. What am I doing? Ooh. Okay, you get the idea. And Solitaire, yeah, Solitaire. It's a card game. I've never been really good with card games. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool little thing. So this was, I believe it's a 3rd gen, like I said, I'm not for sure, but it's only 20 gigs. So I know some of the newer ones, this probably needs a good cleaning. It's a little gross, but such a cool thing, such a cool thing. So I got all the iPods were all in one lot, and I think I spent about $25-30 for all of them. So if I can get them fixed, at least I got one out of it, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, stay tuned for me restoring this iPhone 6, and then obviously the SE needs some love. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. The other thing that I noticed on this SE before I go, the home button is silver. It's not even rose gold. So it's like this has been replaced before. So it just seemed really sketchy from the get-go. But this one, how much did I pay for this? I paid $20 for this SE. So I guess not a bad deal, but a bad deal because I have to restore the entire phone. So that's the cost of that is going to be a little high. So I believe the cost of this is going to be about $50 total. Hopefully, if I can stay at $50, that'll be a great restore. Very slim profit though, but yeah. Anyway, so these are some of the newly acquired phones. I believe I have one more coming, and I will show you that when it comes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.